Like, I was like, that's wrong, there's Tsuchiya, that's a cool car, that guy.
Yeah, I'm not going to be that idiot that pays 8 to 10 grand for a shell. It's not happening.
Yeah, that's insane. Spend your money on tires.
That car is cool.
I might not be a good driver, but like, it looks good. So whenever I get the random photo where I do hit the corner right, it's like, hey.
Let's see how you do under pressure. Yeah, I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Yeah. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy.
Welcome back to the #1 Drift Podcast on YouTube, presented by Injuku Racing. My name is Dawson, and today we have
Sasha Rayevskiv.
Oh yeah, and you are with
Yonke Special.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to clarify that too, how to say it, because I know you probably get asked that all the time, especially from people down here in the South.
Oh yeah.
It's we're too Southern. We would just want to say Yankee, or I guess that would be a Northern thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's more northern. Yonke is just kind of the Japanese way to pronounce it, but you can say Yankee Special. Yeah, it's the same word.
Okay. Well, cool. All right. Well, before we get into it, I know we got a lot to talk about, but look below the video. Make sure the subscribe button is not still red. If it is, go ahead and hit that and hit the bell notification while you're at it so you never miss an episode. And then on top of that, grab the merch, grab a t-shirt from 144, and we should have some other stuff coming soon, if not already. I think that's just hats, but anyways. And don't forget Injuku, Type X, J replace taillights. Those are the best taillights for the S13 hatch, and now they're affordable. So go to Injuku, grab those, and they also came out with a lot of like IS300 stuff, I think some ES300s, some BMW stuff. So go check all that stuff out. Links are always in the description. And we are also here again at No Star Bash. Well, I guess this is technically Drift Indy Street League now.
Yeah.
No Star Bash just ended. They just took the flags and everything down off the fence. But yeah, we got Sasha. You want to kind of introduce yourself a little bit more in depth?
Yeah.
Who you are, what you do?
Sasha. I go by the moniker of Tiger Sasha. A lot of people know me by that from being a street artist. And yeah, I'm based in Arkansas. I'm a Russian immigrant, and I like drifting.
Hell yeah. From Russia?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Damn. What's the differences?
I was pretty young when I moved over here.
Oh, wow. Did your whole family move?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Nice. That's got to be cool for them, I'm sure.
Yeah. We moved in the mid-'90s. So that kind of ages me. But yeah, we moved in the mid-'90s when I was a kid. And yeah, me and two of my other brothers, and then my youngest brother was born here.
Awesome. Well, I guess, what do you think of No Star Bash and Drift Indy and stuff going on since we're here?
Yeah, this is my first time at this event, and I have had the best time here. It's the whole vibe of everything has been killer. Getting the chance to actually drive my car as well, alongside with that has been a huge bonus.
Oh yeah.
But overall, like, I'm really into what Drift Indy's been doing between No Star Bash, their Street League, and all the Drift Appalachia stuff. I think they're just crushing it in the drift scene.
Absolutely. It's more of a better grassroots type event, the way it's ran and stuff, in my opinion. I love the style of all the cars and just all that whole aspect. I love how hard Edgar is on everybody.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's necessary for sure. You need like a stern leadership, especially with drifting. I think, it's a fun, loose kind of sport, but like you still need rules in place and stern leadership. And yeah, like the style of all these cars here is top notch.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're freaking ripping out here. I drove with some of the Drift Indy Street League guys. They did a kind of a bash session and invited some No Star guys. Y'all get down, and that was like practice for them on that layout. So
yeah,
pretty wild here. But you just painted your car.
Yes. Well,
is this the first event with it?
Yeah, it is my first event.
Okay. Well, who you said?
Scott and Mike from Grip Royal painted it.
Oh, nice.
I was back home getting ready for my event.
Absolutely. It turned out really good.
Thank you. Yeah, I love it.
Do you know what actual color it was? Like the factory paint color?
The factory paint color.
Added stuff to it.
Factory paint color was black. The car was originally black IS300.
No, like for the paint you used to paint.
Oh, yeah, it's a straight up factory color.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's a 90s, I think it's like a mid-90s Lamborghini 30th anniversary.
Oh, that makes more sense.
It's called like Lamborghini Mauve Metallic. So it came out on the Diablos for the 30th anniversary.
Okay. That sounds wild.
It is. Yeah, it's cool. Like the color shifts so much in lighting. It's like in the sun, like all the pinks come out, and then when the sun's down or overcast, it's a lot more like lavender and purple.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a real hot color. I was looking for something kind of in the lavender realm.
Yeah.
And I found that color.
Why that color? Like why what?
I don't know.
In that area of color, I guess.
I don't know. I just like bright pastel-y kind of colors and something wild, and I was like, I wanted to be a super hot boy kind of car, and found that color, and because like I was gonna go green originally, but I'm like, man, everybody has a green car.
Yeah.
And nothing against that. Green is my favorite color, but I wanted something a little more off the beaten path, and I asked my wife, and she was like, oh yeah, lavender would be cool.
No, yeah.
Yeah, let's fuck it.
I think it suits the IS really well.
Yeah.
It's a good color on that car.
Yeah.
And I've always been a sucker for those cars anyway. I'm just a four-door guy.
Yeah. I really, really like it. I picked it up a few years ago. I wanted one since like 2008. And being broke, and I was a 240
Give this guy a round of applause, everybody.
Damn,
was
that
loud.
loud as fuck. Holy shit. Yeah, sorry. By the way, if you're watching, we are at literally a drift event. So
yeah,
there's going to be noises, there's going to be cars, there's going to be competition, talking in the background. So thanks for dealing with it. Anyways.
It'll be good.
But yeah, no, what is the kit on that car?
It has a KBD kit for the bumper, side skirts, and rear. And then the wide body is a Don Musk from Poland.
Nice.
Yeah, I think he has, like, hands down the best, most fluid wide body kit for that car. I got it
a lot
mainly.
of good kits that come out of Poland.
Yeah, dude,
Surprising.
Eastern Bloc is like just, those cars are very popular over there. So like anything from Russia and Poland and stuff, like for ISs is killer.
Absolutely, yeah.
But especially with like the sanctions and stuff, it's a lot more difficult to get like an Escura Garage kit. And I just didn't really like the extra door skin on the rear doors.
Yeah.
And so that's why I went with the Don Musk, and I can't say enough good things about it. The fitment is like spotless. Like I didn't do any modifications to it. I just like put it on the car, and I was like, drill here, drill here. Yeah.
Dude, that's always good. It never happens.
Yeah, it's not like my Origin stuff on my S13.
Ooh. Yeah, y'all know about that from Spoon's podcast. No, I really like the kit though, because I figured it was KBD, but I wanted to make sure because it does look like pretty perfect the way it fits.
Yeah, no, dude, like that kit fit amazing. The only issues I have is the side skirts still never straightened out, but I'll just build some plates or something to line it out. But like everything's riv nutted on the car, and like Scott added a bunch of flex additive, and I wanted to go with KBD because like I'm relatively new to actually drifting.
Yeah.
Not new to the sport, but to actually doing it. And so I was like, man, I don't want to be fixing fiberglass all the time.
I want to be picking that shit up off the track.
Well, you got a spider on your neck.
Dude, where are these bitches coming from? What is going on?
Yeah, he was straight up crawling on your neck.
What the fuck?
Ohio, baby.
Welcome to Ohio, god damn it. Alright. I don't remember what the fuck we were talking about.
KBD.
Now I'm tripping. What's going on? Yeah, so you did you brace the front bumpers and stuff, rear bumper, all that? Or is it just hanging?
The cool thing is it's just the front bumper, there's already 3 spots on it in the mold to brace it to the front radiator spot. So like
I just gotta drill the holes, right?
Just drill the holes and just use those.
Yeah.
And then added riv nuts in my fenders and stuff because it's a 20-year-old car, so like shit's broken on it. But the front bumper is like super secure. I added a couple points up on the higher end on the rear bumper.
Yeah.
The back is just kind of flops around a smidge. Not like anything noticeable, but I'd rather have it flop just enough.
Yeah,
so like,
of course.
I dirt dropped yesterday, and so it's like, this works out really well. It's
yeah.
Like, oh yeah, it just kind of moves a smidge. And
yeah,
so
I've got these little quick release. I hate using the quick release tabs. They look kind of ugly.
Yeah.
But I have them hidden in the livery, so
yeah,
it helps a little bit. But I have those on the back and then some little braces. That way it has like 6 inches of the, maybe not that much, 5 or 6 inches, whatever, of the bumper at the very, yeah, 6 inches all you need, baby. But no, that way like from the way the brace comes down, it has like a few inches of the bumper that just hangs that can flop around.
Oh, nice.
And so if I ever like scrape, it'll just kind of bend that corner in and then pop right back out.
Yeah.
If I dirt drop hard enough though, it'll just pop the quick release and the bumper will just sit there for a second.
Nice. Yeah, on the IS, I just have to get some extra bracing underneath the taillights just because it being polyurethane, it's so much heavier.
Yeah.
And even with the extra added stuff I did, it's just still just hangs a little under, there's a gap. And it bothers me. I was like, a little engineering will fix that. But yeah, bracing for sure. Later on, just a smidge. Because I want to go lower.
Absolutely. Yeah. Especially with the KVD. You got all the excuse to.
Yeah, it'll just wear itself down.
I don't know about yours, but my side skirts, where they mount up like near the fender and stuff, they come with extra, I guess, material there. Yeah. So that you can kind of trim it and make it fit the way you need it to.
Oh, yeah, the IS, not so much. I do want to add a little more like double-sided tape. Yeah, so I can kind of like cinch it in. It's a little thick on like the door sill area on the bottom. So like I really have to close that, my driver's door.
My Lambo doors are screwing me on that part. The driver door I have to push down and in, and then the passenger door, if I push it in from the middle, fuck you.
Is that your buddy?
Yeah, there's another one of my buddies crawling up. But the passenger I have to push in from the middle so that it'll kind of like go up and in. It's terrible.
Drift car stuff.
Oh yeah, of course. It's been driving okay though?
Yeah, absolutely. The car's been killer. I mean, like, you know, like I drove 11 and a half hours here with my booth setup loaded in the car.
Cowboy, bro.
And then I drifted it for 2 days. Load it up. So yeah, the car's been great. I just checked the oil, made sure gas is good, and like just let it rip.
Awesome.
And yeah, really bone stock car for the most part. You know, this layout is sick. I like this whole track has just been so much fun.
Yeah.
I've only driven, you know, Drift Mansion and like a small parking lot event and like an airport event. So.
There's some cool events to be your only events.
Yeah. I help a lot with Drift Mansion with Scott and stuff. Doing a lot of the artwork, and I actually help run. I'm part of the staff to help run the event and stuff. I finally got to drive this last one, and it was so cool. So all my sim practice on that track layout helped a lot.
It paid off, huh? Yeah. Awesome. Well, you said which layout did you like better? Because we did 2.
Yeah.
Technically.
I like the one we did on Friday.
Yeah.
A lot more. They were both good, in all honesty, but I got to test out for briefly the Street League layout last night at the end of the night, and it was cool. I'm definitely not skilled enough to like do that J hook like entry that it has.
Oh yeah. I wasn't. It is a cool entry once you get it down, but I wasn't. I only did like 6 laps last night on that layout, and 3 of them were tandeming with Scott, so I wouldn't even focus on hitting that turn right. I was just like, don't spin.
Yeah, and I haven't done like a clutch kick, like I'll go in the opposite direction and then clutch kick to set it up before. So I was like, it's my first time doing that. I had like 6 minutes to try and get a lap or 2 in. So I was like, fuck.
We're just going
for it. And then the second time I was like, nope, fuck it. I was like, I'll nail it. I was like,
oh my god. Yeah, I think the first lap I did out on that layout, I went all like basically to full lock and almost did a backy going into it and came damn near a full stop, and then just dumped the clutch and it took off. And I was able to save it, but that first turn screwed me up for a second.
Yeah. I rode with Alec to see how it was, and he's a ripper in a 350Z convertible, and I mean, just seeing that, I was like, oh, this is how this is supposed to be. Okay, cool.
Right.
I was like, let me try and mimic that, and I just spun out.
Yeah. Well, do you like the way they do groups and stuff for these events?
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
A lot of people have weird opinions on that. I'm a big fan of it.
I think
but-
it's necessary. You know, me with limited experience, I was like, yeah, fucking put me in Group C. Like,
Yeah.
I need this thing to drive home.
That's true too. Yeah.
And so that was cool. It's a good learning experience, getting to be with, people of my similar skill level and stuff, and those kind of. They do a really good job, like, managing, like, they all watch everybody drive. So, like, they notice you're consistent and stuff. They'll let you get in with the more consistent guys and, like, send you out a little more frequently.
Yeah.
And so that's been super cool.
Or especially when Swan started flagging.
Go. Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, dude, like, riding along, like, getting a ride along with Scott and stuff, like, during A group was sick. Just like, oh, here's 13 cars.
Yeah,
Like,
literally.
This is cool.
Oh my god, because everyone has like a weird, this like inclusive crap that they want to be just everyone in one thing. You have one run group, and you go out all day, and they just want it to be that way. But it's like that holds track time up more.
Well, I mean, I think that's just
because
kind of
people, the newer guys are gonna spin in front of you. And
yeah,
shit.
and it's like, dude, last thing you'd want to do, especially if you're like a skilled driver, is like sit in grid for 20 minutes because some dude's second event, he's like spinning out over and over again, which is like, that's part of learning. But like, I think the division in that is great. Like, yeah, you've got your less skilled drivers and then your skilled drivers, and like,
and not even that too, like not even just the skill aspect of it. And you know how Edgar said, check your. I know we check your shit before you go out, but check your shit every time before you go out. And like it shows, because there's some people, great cars, great drivers, but something happens with their car that was like easily fixable, and now we're stuck on track sitting there for 20-30 minutes.
yeah,
Maybe not that long, that's a little excessive, but
like maybe 15
just
minutes.
waiting, and dude, my car, Iron Block RB, I fucking sweat my balls
It's
off
hot.
in there.
It's hot. I've got air conditioning, luckily, so I'm
Yeah,
just like,
dude,
oh man.
He's chilling. He's like, I'll sit on grid all day, I'm ready.
Yeah. But I'm like very excited to drive, so I'm like,
Yeah.
come on, let's go. I need to get more
Just sitting
laps.
there anxious, yeah.
Yeah, the tire wear here is great. Like,
I was really surprised too. Yeah, I think I went through 6 Velinos, the Ebisu tires, and they were 255s, which they would make a lot of smoke. I did not expect that.
yeah, I watched one of your runs on the Street League when you're warming up and stuff, and it was just like a smoke show.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, damn.
What tires were you running?
Oh, I'm running like, Scott brought some Phi Rs, like 255, 35.
Oh, the
18s.
PHIs from
Yeah,
the seller?
yeah, the
yeah,
Phis.
yeah.
Or PHIs, whatever the hell they are. So then you're like
I
400
tried
tread
those
wear.
on mine, and
And your
I
car's-
like blew through them.
Yeah.
It was nothing.
But for like low horsepower dudes like me, I had like 35, 36 pounds in them maybe all
Yeah.
weekend. And
It's wild.
dude, like,
I had to bump mine up to like 40.
really?
Yeah, this track is really grippy, surprisingly.
Oh yeah, my car did well at like 35 pounds, which is surprising. I'm granted, the Phi's a way looser tire than
Yeah.
the
Even
Velino.
Dan was saying the same thing. He
Yeah.
had to bump his up if he had a passenger.
Drivers
like
meeting
6
in the
pounds.
pavilion in 5
Whoa.
minutes.
Yeah,
Drivers
and
meeting at
hell,
the
an extra
pavilion in 5
passenger in a
minutes.
Miata is a big weight difference.
Yeah, that's true. Anyways, we'll just start from here.
Yeah.
I really like that you chose the Neos.
Thanks. Funny enough, I didn't actually choose the Neos.
Really?
Yeah. So actually, I guess more or less technically sponsored by Kansei now. And I have a set of Astros on the way for the car.
No shit.
Yeah. And Chris, love that dude to death, sent me the Neos for drifting.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he was like,
Yeah.
so he's like, you can street mob in the Astros and Neos for drifting. I was like, dope. I was like, because I like the Neos. I have nothing against them.
Absolutely, yeah.
When I saw them in person after they got released in Chrome, I was like, oh yeah, these
son.
are hot.
Yeah.
And the white ones hit. I like them. They look better on the car than I initially thought.
Right.
And I'm not upset about them.
That's what everyone says too, especially when they see my car. They're like, I wasn't sure about them online whenever I see pictures of it.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, in person, you can see the concave and stuff and the
Yeah.
wheel, and man.
Yeah, dude,
It
running
hits.
the low offset models are so good looking.
Yeah.
And I'm broke, so like, I don't know. I've always liked
They're
them.
affordable.
They're just like, they're super affordable. Like, this is my 4th set of Kanseis.
Yeah.
Like, I bought 2 sets, and then, I've got the Astros on the way. And I'm real excited about those.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw some one thing that me and Chris talked about whenever we did his podcast was how they're kind of built to be a breaking point for your whole front end, really. And a good example of that was actually this weekend. I saw a dude that came off track. He was pitted right next to me, actually. He was in a 350Z, pretty much bone stock for the most part, but he had some Cosmos wheels on the front.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've heard anything about Cosmos wheels, but they're stout.
Okay.
Like, fucking stout. Strong, really strong wheels. But they don't break. It's not a weak point.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I've got a Mega Mantis FDF kit that costs a lot, in my opinion. And I don't want to go replacing $400 arms and all that stuff just because something snapped because a wheel wouldn't break. This dude literally had smashed his front end right there on the wheel, and you could tell it like crippled all the suspension underneath.
Oh, yeah. So the suspension was the failure point for it.
Yeah.
Instead of the
and
wheel.
the wheel was totally fine.
Yeah, which I'd much rather like a wheel explode. It's like, oh, it's $300, whatever.
Absolutely.
And it's like you can get back on track way faster, you know, versus like, oh well, shit, I don't have a spare
you start
control
dealing
arm.
with $4,000 or $5,000, $2,000 angle kits, dude. You're pissed.
Yeah. Yeah, you do have a pretty beefy setup for that car.
Yeah, I have it very minimal. Set up very minimal. I don't really. I think it's kind of unnecessary to have that much angle with how much power I'm pushing. It just
And you're not like
the
in
point.
competition.
Yeah.
It's like you don't really need all that. And it's great that you have it because as you progress, you can just, well, let's get a little more angle, a little more angle.
Yeah,
like, more backies and a little more backies.
Well, mine's more set up. I've been trying to get the front wheels to fit under the fenders, the factory fenders, and that's really hard on an FDF kit. So
yeah, dude, they're like this.
The track
wide.
width is nuts. I've got the fronts all the way in, and the rear is extended as far out as I can.
Yeah.
So I'm running a little bit more camber than I probably should, but I don't abuse my fenders doing that. So whatever. I don't know. It still drives great. I had a little bit of caster to get some self steer, stuff like that.
Yeah.
What angle kit are you running?
I'm on a CNC 71 kit.
Dude, I've been hearing about them a lot.
They're
CNC
killer
stuff.
Yeah.
Is it? Where are they
dude.
from again?
They're from Poland.
Poland? Okay,
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I looked at all of them. You know, Serial 9, Drift HQ, Initiate, CNC 71, and a friend of mine actually runs that kit, and he has ran a few of random kits over the years.
Right.
And he was like, dude, you should get these because they give you a little more. They do the bump steer correction. They give you a little more camber, and they have a little caster built into them, so they move everything out and up a little. Which like caster's a big thing on the IS.
Yeah.
Very limited because those arms, all those bushings are worn out. But
mine are too. All the bushings on my subframe are cracked and trashed.
And I went with that because like it just uses like GS300 outer tie rod ends that are flipped.
Yeah.
So you can get that clearance, and so it's like those are, I don't know, $60 for the pair maybe. Like they're super cheap. So it's like if I break one, it's like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I could keep 3 pairs of them like in the back
spares,
of my car.
Yeah, literally.
and so like it keeps the car super streetable. And the only other thing I did on the front was the FDF high clearance tension arms.
Okay.
Just because now that I have the angle and stuff, and it's not much of an issue now with like the lower offset front wheels, but I did have some like plus 35s before. They're like 9.5 wide.
Yeah.
And I would hit those tension arms because that angle kit does have a good amount of angle. And but those are nice because they gave me the extra caster I wanted. So I was able to get it to like 7.5 degrees, and the car like self-steers like crazy.
Oh, I bet it's snappy as can be.
Yeah, because the first time I went and drove it, it had stock caster essentially like maxed out, and it was like bees in the car. Like I had to, like, oh shit,
want it.
and it was cool. Like as a learning experience, so it was like I really had to like think a turn in advance. To like, I'm like sliding. I'm like, cool. There's the turn there. I need to float the car and preload the steering wheel to point me where I want to go.
Yeah.
And then, so it worked out, but like once I put the new stuff on and like tested it, I was like, oh, this is exactly how it's supposed to be.
This is what I was envisioning the whole time.
Yeah, because I grew up owning, a bunch of 240s and Miatas and stuff, and being a shithead, and like sliding those around random places. And so it's like I'm used to this like letting go of the steering wheel and then just catching it. I don't like being completely in control.
That's how I've always been. The Z's from the factory are very kind of snappy like that a little bit. And then I went to the Super Lock kit from GK Tech, and if any of you guys have that kit, you know it's extremely snappy. And the wheel spins fast as hell. It's really weird.
Yeah.
But you guys can vouch for that. But that was your first. That's your first drift car, right?
Yeah.
Ever. Okay. So.
Yeah. First
did
one
you
that I actually got to
start?
drive.
No, fair. Did you start with no angle though? Like just limited angles, stock stuff?
A little. Like I mean, I'd done so much stuff from high school, moving on. Like in the rain and dumb shit. You know, just bone stock 240s and Miatas. It's like, let's go ahead and get
kind of
an
already
kit.
had the
Like
gist.
yeah.
Oh, you play the Sims and stuff too.
Yeah, I play Sim too.
So that helps a lot.
That helped a whole lot. That was like the best investment.
Everyone says it on this thing, especially at the end with the best advice. It's
Yeah.
always play the Sim.
Yeah.
Play the Sim. Play the Sim. I'm sitting here like, I've never even owned one.
Yeah. No,
Oops.
Sim is sick. It's definitely. I'm more of a. It took me a long time to get used to the Sim.
Yeah, I can't comprehend it. I suck at it.
It took a while, but like it transitioned very, very well from like digital to real life. I was like, oh yeah, this makes sense, because like I don't know, on Sim I'm so used to using the hydro, but I don't have one.
Yeah.
But when I started driving in the parking lot and stuff, the first event, I was like, oh, I could just clutch kick everything. I was like, but I don't do that on the Sim. So like it translated, but also didn't.
Yeah.
in a sense.
It's the motion that throws me off, because I started in the car, so like I can't grasp it without feeling everything happening.
Yeah, VR helps with that.
That's all I've played on is VR.
Really?
And I puke.
Yeah, it made me sick the first time I did it. I haven't played with VR since, but I started off by doing third person to get used to like the physics of the game, and then I progressed into like in car. And then did that.
Huh. I might need to try that.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, it's just like a racing game.
Yeah.
Because you could like see how much angle the car has from a third perspective.
True. Yeah.
And then you just.
I suck at video games. I just don't play video games. That's
Oh,
the
I'm
problem.
an old nerd, man.
How did you originally even find out about drifting? Like, what was the?
Oh. So.
Yeah, sorry, that was way off.
Yeah, no, cool question. So let's go back to 2003.
2003.
And I'm like 13. I've always been into cars.
Okay.
Like, always loved them. Nobody in my family, like my parents or uncles or anything, like really were into cars or anything like that. And I just always had an affinity for them. And I always liked them, but I was like, growing up, like, couldn't find the niche that I was looking for.
Right.
And I loved anime.
On the line. Everyone is lined up, paired up. Get ready for this top
You're
three.
fine. Fuck it.
Yeah, I always liked
Y'all can deal with
Top
it.
three.
growing up doodling and stuff. I loved anime and shit. And then my brother and his friends,
Fans are excited.
it was just back when like DivX was a thing, the DivX player. It's
That
like,
sounds familiar.
it was like essentially the original like.
I'm still in my mid-20s, dog. Keep this in mind.
Oh, okay, yeah. So DivX was like, what's that software with the orange cone that you can see? Media player. It's a media player.
Shit.
Daddy, looking like you.
Yeah, we know.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So it's essentially like kind of that software back then, and so it enabled us to like one of his buddies would like download Initial D that was translated. And burn them on CDs, so we'd watch it on DivX. So like, I'm just walking through, and my brother had we had an upstairs computer, and this is like almost family computer era.
Yeah.
And so I'm walking, I'm like, what the fuck's that? It's anime, but it has cars. So I start watching, and I'm like, this is amazing. Like, holy shit, this is the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life. And that was my introduction to drifting. It was like Initial D in 2003.
Nope.
And so like, I'm like, this is awesome.
Dude, it's so funny and like unique to see, because there's an age line.
Yeah.
Obviously, we got the generations and stuff like that, but there's an age where it just like stops, where Initial D wasn't the influence and Fast and Furious is.
Yeah.
And dude, it's that gap that's so weird. And also the fact that, like, if you're not into anime, then like you would never even get into Initial D, which was my part. I can't physically sit and watch anime. It just doesn't click for me.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm just, especially being into art and stuff, I love the animation and how they portray things. But like, so it's like watching Initial D and like old school best motoring. Like,
oh, nice.
We would download all of that stuff. So I'm like, found out about Tsuchiya and Initial D in the same year at 13.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the coolest
This
shit
is
I've
life.
ever
I
seen
found
in my
it.
life. Yeah, I was like, what? And so by the time, like, I'm already out of high school when Tokyo Drift came out.
Yeah.
And we're watching, I'm like, shit, there's Tsuchiya. Like, I was like, that's wrong, there's Tsuchiya, that's a cool car, fuck that guy.
Just calling him out.
Yeah, but I was like, it was a great movie. Like, I love Fast and Furious and all that stuff. But yeah, that was like my introduction into drifting. So like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, my first car was an S13.
Yep.
Like my brother got his first car, which was also an S13, when he graduated high school. So I was like 15, and I was like, didn't really know what a 240 was, because I was a big fan of Rayevskiv from Initial D. So I was like, I want an FC. I was like, oh man, FC's so sick. And then this 240 pulls up in the driveway, and my dad wakes my ass up at like 7 in the morning and goes, hey, you awake? I'm like, I am now. He's like, do you want to go drive Tolik's car?
Jackass.
So I'm like, fuck yeah. So like, 15, barely driven stick shift. My dad's like, yeah, let's go. So like drive around the block a couple times and stuff. And I was like, I need this. It's just a sick car. Like it had everything. It was like an FC, but like different.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just like the seating position, everything about the 240. And so I bought one when I was like 17. And for like $800 running and driving.
Oh man, that pisses me off still.
Yeah.
I didn't get into 240s enough to buy one. I've never bought a 240. I've never owned one.
Oh man. Well, that's good.
It's like
good for
probably
your wallet.
Won't happen now. But
Yeah, they're so fucking expensive now.
yeah, I'm not gonna be that idiot that pays $8 to $10 grand for a shell. It's not happening.
Yeah, that's insane. So yeah, like I bought a 240 back then when, especially in Arkansas, like it was Hondas and like DSMs. And I was like, nah, man, I like rear wheel drive. I think that shit's way cooler. And I was like, no, like even one of my best friends who now is a 240 guy had an Integra.
Yeah.
And the first time I let him drive my car, he was like, I don't know, I'm not really into it. It's like, dog, you're missing out.
Whatever you say, bro.
Yeah, I mean, just
You'll
doing dumb
realize
shit.
one day.
Yeah, like we did just so much dumb shit. And then I ended up getting a Miata my senior year of high school. So that's like 2006-ish.
Okay.
And yeah, back when Miatas were like really gay.
Really, really gay. Yeah.
And it was a sick little 95, but yeah, that's kind of my intro to drifting. And then I took a long break from cars in general, come around 2012.
Just doing more like artistic stuff.
Yeah, I left
I know
the
you said
town.
you've been
Yeah, I left the
creative.
town I grew up in and moved to Northwest Arkansas. And because I was like, man, I just want to change shit up. And I was like, had to have a hard realization and hard truth with myself. I was like, I can either stay broke and have a cool car or be broke and build a career.
True.
And so I decided to build a career instead.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, speaking on the creative stuff, I guess you mentioned you did like street art. So explain that. Like, what do you mean? Like graffiti or, like,
So there's my main medium is spray paint, but that doesn't make me a graffiti artist or a graffiti writer. Graffiti is tagging, writing stuff, illegal shit.
Right.
I'm not a writer. I have mad respect for writers because I can't do that shit at all. Also, like I could never like actually tag like I wanted to because I'm an immigrant. Last thing I wanted to do was like, hey, yeah, you're denied citizenship because you've got all these like counts on your record for fucking shit
that
up.
is true. I didn't think about that.
So it's like, yeah, I had that fear. Like, it's like I can't jeopardize this.
Right.
So street art, it's more on like thematic stuff and just like whatever kind of shit in like large scale buildings, and I painted.
Yeah, so people like
60-foot
hire
buildings.
you to paint the side of their business or something.
Yeah,
like
I've done business stuff, but usually it's my own artwork. It's not like, oh, paint my logo on my building. Like, I'm not a sign painter. I was like, there's like, we like your art. We want a mural. So I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, here you go. Here's this, and it's all my shit. And I draw these like bubbles and this weird like kind of kawaii shit. And my art style's changed a lot over the years. I've done just about everything.
Hell yeah.
Like from realism to fucking anime to kawaii shit to abstract. Like, I mean,
How does that stuff play into cars, you think? Because you, like, obviously your average person is going to be, you know, semi-creative, but nowhere near the scale that you've been your entire life. So, like, do you think there's some... Have you ever thought of, like, any unique ways to incorporate that stuff into the car? 'Cause you see people do, like, these crazy paint jobs, lace and all sorts of shit.
Yeah, I think that's cool. Like, for me, I like the separation between, like, studio artwork and, like, what I do and cars. Like, I like it separate because I like everything that's specific to the car realm.
Yeah,
So I'm like, the lowrider shit, amazing. Like, drift style, amazing. Like, I was like, I don't want to put my artwork on that. Like, yeah, it's something I created. It's like, I'd rather do something that's like more of like what I'm obsessed with, like in the car world.
Yeah. What do you think, like, what if someone came to you and was like, I have an idea of doing this creative design on my roof? Like, is that a project you would ever take on?
I've
Or do you
painted.
just try and stick to...
Like, I've painted a bunch of cars, like with spray paint and stuff, and they're a pain in the ass.
Really?
Yeah, dude, you got to think like a wall is flat. It might, you know, be textured or something, and
Yeah, I guess that is true.
that's fine. But a car is like so many shapes and things and small and like,
The way the
it's
light
like,
hits
yeah,
it.
the way light hits, and you
Yeah.
got to think about all this shit. It's like, fuck, like, how am I gonna do this?
I'll
How
just
am I
do the
gonna
hood,
this?
that's it.
Yeah, I can't even do the hood because like a spray can doesn't work this way. Spray can works this way.
Oh my god, that's right. So you have to take the hood off and like mount it on a wall or something.
Yeah. So I've painted a few cars over the years and stuff, and like I get requests for it all the time. It's like art's not cheap,
Yeah.
and materials aren't cheap. So it's like, hey man, can you paint my car? Thinking it's gonna be like $400. Like, no man, it's gonna be like $4,000.
Damn.
It's like, no, I've got 30 years of practice. Like I can't. Like,
True. Yeah. You're paying for the experience.
Yeah, and like the materials alone is expensive because like you need to clear coat it afterwards. Like otherwise, like it might flake or something might happen. You know.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. I personally like having a separation between art and cars.
I get that. Yeah, I feel like also combining the two would probably dilute your enthusiasm for both of them.
Yeah,
As well.
yeah, because like my personal art style is it's
Vastly
it's different from Yankee.
Okay,
I mean, you
yeah,
can tell that there's like, you know, the line work. It's like, oh, it must be the same guy or something similar.
Yeah, you
but
kinda
like
have to be
the
looking for
content
that.
is way different.
Gotcha. Okay, then, so when did Yankee come into play then? Like what? Why did you choose, I guess?
2016.
Okay, so what was the reasoning behind Yankee? And
So-
venturing not necessarily away from the other stuff, but
Yeah.
adding to it.
Yeah, so it's funny. It originally started with a buddy of mine and I. We became friends because of a mutual love for Bosozoku motorcycles.
Oh, no shit, okay.
Yeah, and so we started bullshit, and we were like, we're gonna make a fake, you know, motorcycle group. Just
Yeah,
the two of
yeah.
us, and we're gonna go like hang out at ramen shops and eat noodles. And
7-Elevens.
Yeah, build these like dumb bikes, and we're like, yeah, we'll have like, you know, tokofuku, and like we'll get them embroidered with like a tengu, and like we'll give them a huge pompadour and shit because we're like into that Boso style. And I was like, fuck yeah. So we started working on that and kind of slept on it for a while. Like we both got busy, and it's like 2018-ish, 19. I was like, I should like revisit that character design again. And it's like I love Tengu and stuff, and I was like, yeah, we'll kind of refine them a little, and then I decided I was like, oh, I should make like an automotive brand. I was like, because I already had a screen print shop and stuff, and done graphic design and all this other shit. So I was like, not really me being, you know, so into the old JDM like car stuff and anime. I was like, that's what I want on t-shirts. I don't really care for the more modern style, like US inspired kind of like t-shirt design.
The Adam Z design.
Yeah, nothing against him, dude. Like Hell Designs is fucking phenomenal.
great.
Like he's great. He's got his own style. It's him.
Can't be different doing the same shit though.
Yeah, and like it was just like I like old anime and shit and old manga and stuff like that. Like Shakutan Boogie is like one of my big inspirations. Like I've got that full 34, 36 volume collection from Japan.
No shit.
Yeah. And so it's like it's a weird obscure manga. And so I was like, yeah, we'll just do something kind of in the automotive realm, and then I was like in bed one night, and I was like, because I knew I wanted the brand to have the word Yankee in it. And then I was like sitting in bed, like thinking about racing stuff and car shit, and I was like, oh, John Player Special. That is one of the coolest fucking names and one of the coolest fucking teams ever. Like the black and gold Lotus and stuff. And I was like, Yonke Special, like that sounds cool. And then Jake, my buddy who helped me with the character design originally, he used to speak Japanese and like knows an insane amount of history. So I was like, hey, what's the kanji for like special? And he gives me like 5 or 6 different ones. And so I was like, ooh, I like that one, like aesthetically.
Yeah.
And he goes, cool, that one means like something dear to you and like something handmade. I was like, that's perfect. Because like I hand draw the designs. I was like, sick. So it was just like, once we nailed that, I was like, yeah, I like the way the name rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
And yeah, started off with like some stickers. And then like those sold out immediately. I was like, okay, sick. And then I had like random blank t-shirts just laying around. I was like, oh, we'll do this design and see how it goes. And those sold out immediately. So I was like,
no shit.
Okay, cool. Wow. And like drifting, it was funny because I didn't even like cater the artwork to the drift world.
Yeah.
Like the drift world just founded it. Like they were just like, yo, this is
part of us.
This is like what we're into.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I got picked up. Clutch Kickers hit me up, and we're like, hey, can you like do this design we've got an idea for? Because I had a tornado roll through one of the rounds.
Oh yeah.
And so Matt hit me up from there and was like, yeah, sent me this list of stuff he wanted in this. And I was like,
oh my
fuck
God.
am I gonna put all of these things in here? And I mean, they had like, all their sponsor kind of stuff. And so I did this huge tornado and like a 180 like flying in it, and like the big, $100,000 check like stuffed in the front bumper. And, like there's a chunk bitten out of it. And Kansei had their little like cute shark character they were playing with for a while. So I had him hanging out the tornado with a Kansei wheel and like a KNP, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, I guess this will work. And it went off really well.
That's so crazy. Because like, well, for one, you hear of, especially people growing up, they're like, I want to start a clothing brand or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And like, even I know that Yankee is kind of more a creative outlet in a sense than just a clothing brand.
It's both.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I had always wanted to do a clothing line. That's why I got into screen printing. With my brother, it was like that cool, that mesh of artistic and functional.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I had a full fucking fledged shop. So I was like, fuck it, let's make a JDM apparel brand.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think has like been the main factor to making it more successful? Because I mean, anyone could technically go start a clothing brand.
Yeah.
Start a clothing brand, but it never really pops off, obviously, because it's simple design or whatever it is. But what do you think?
It's the meaning behind the brand. You can't do anything. You can't really find success in an apparel brand, or really most things, if there isn't any passion behind it. Like, look at like Stussy and all those brands. Like those dudes were passionate about, skateboarding, and like Supreme. Like they were a skate brand.
Yeah.
And so the skaters were like, oh, you guys are like us, so we'll support you. And so it's like it's that passion is what like really is the big motivator and like keeps the brand alive. Like yeah, the designs are cool. They're flashy. I love bright colors and stuff, but like it plays to a part of like, cool, it pays homage to old stuff, and it's like cool looking designs, and it just kind of fits.
Yeah.
So, and like, cause people get a huge kick whenever like, it's their first time buying a t-shirt at a show, and they're like asking me questions about it. And I'm like, oh yeah, like I design them, I print them, like blah, blah, blah. So they're like, oh shit, there's like such a different connection there.
Gotcha. Okay. I think it's more appreciated whenever, like, especially you're standing under the tent selling all this shit at the same time you're talking to the artist. Yeah. They're like, you did this? What the fuck are you talking? It's like, damn. So yeah, that's gonna create more of an incentive for people, I feel like, to want to purchase from you and support what you got going on.
Yeah, and it's cool. Like it's a personal thing. Like people are like are more excited to like wear the shirt. Like they're like, yeah, like I got to meet the guy who did this, and it's like I'm really strict on like high quality blanks and stuff. So it's like they're like,
feel that.
My main thing is like, regardless of design or anything, like subconsciously you're gonna pick out a shirt that's the most comfortable every fucking time.
Exactly.
And people message me like, yeah, this is one of my favorite shirts. Like I always wear it.
Yeah.
Like I need a new one because I've worn it out.
I was telling my girl the other day that she was talking about a shirt and how she liked it so much.
Yeah.
And if she should tell the person that like she really, I think it's the hoodie you have on. Literally the hoodie you have on.
Sponsored Adrenaline.
Sorry,
yeah.
she's behind the camera. You can't see her, but yeah, sponsored Adrenaline. Gary, his hoodies are really like nice, thick quality. And like that's just shit you notice.
Yeah.
I personally, if I got a thin, weird T-shirt, it's stretchy, it's like latex almost.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'm not wearing this ever. I don't care what it says.
Yeah, exactly. So that's like a big thing. Yeah, you gotta have passion if you're gonna do anything. I mean, drifting is a perfect example of that. Everybody here is so passionate about it, regardless of how they got into it. So like, you come to an event like this, and it's just like, sick. I'm around a bunch of cool people. We're having a great time, regardless of what's happening on track.
Absolutely. How long do you, or I guess not how long, how often do you come out with newer designs? Just for your own personal brand? I know you do other stuff too.
Man, I was on a good kick last year.
Yeah, I'm sure it's hard. You got a lot more going on.
Yeah, this year was tough. The brand kind of had to like take a seat back. I was focused on other things, and so really like the shirt I'm wearing right now, I actually designed it in like January, and I didn't print it until like 3 weeks ago.
Damn. There's a part of it. I haven't like just this random little ad. I used to like make these little ads for just random companies. I did one for Grip Royal actually.
Yeah.
I made that one in like a couple hours or something, just fiddling around. I have one for this coffee company that's just been sitting in my computer and I haven't even touched. So like, I totally feel that.
Yeah.
The creativeness, just if it's not there, it's not there, and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah. So it's like it's that, and getting into driving and drifting and stuff has been a big motivator.
Yeah.
So I mean, like literally, like I wouldn't even have the IS if it weren't for the brand.
Yeah.
Like I sold enough stuff to where like I could buy the IS.
That's
because
awesome.
literally I was like, shit, if this can like support like my hobby, like fuck it, let's go.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
support my life.
Yeah,
Get there.
the goal is support the life. But if it can at least offset drifting expenses and stuff, like I'm in.
Yeah, that's cool. Hell yeah. Well, where do you? I know like you're the anime stuff and all of that, but like, where do you get some of the inspiration for some of these designs that like maybe just pop out of nowhere and you're like, holy shit, that's it, that's one. Like, is there ever anything random that happens?
Yeah, it's the whole creative process, man. It's just like random ass shit. Like I'll be driving, I'm like, make a random note, like a one tiny little thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's gonna be a spark for
I gotta come back to
design.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Because like Nate at 144, with his liveries and stuff, obviously he's swapping them out like crazy. He hasn't done it that much this year because the GR is kind of a handful.
Well, he's got that other racing series he's doing too.
True, yeah, the Rush Shoot, dude, that stuff's nuts.
Yeah.
We ain't gotta go on that tangent today, but like he was telling me one time he got inspiration from the ink printers.
Yeah.
Of just printing T-shirts and shit. Like, nah, let's do some drips of ink coming down the sides of the car everywhere. It looked really good, and not like overplayed where it was like all the way down the car and just a bunch of cartoon drips. Like, it looked put together. It was really cool.
Yeah, and sometimes like my ideas just don't get fleshed out properly. Like I'll start drawing it, and I'm like, I'm just not feeling this. Like in my head, it was something cool, but like put pen to paper or iPad in my sense, and it's just like, nah, this isn't hitting.
Yeah.
Are
you gonna do a livery on that car?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You already designed it and everything?
Mm-hmm. I got some tweaking to do. But yeah, we got the.
What's the style of it? Like, what are you shooting for?
Oh,
the
like
JDM stuff.
JDM, like early 2000s, like JDM
Tribal
drift
type.
Yeah. So like we have a little like team we're starting with Scott and Mike from Grip Royal and myself and a bunch of their Memphis homies and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's called Car Team Shriek.
Okay.
And yeah, it's all like chrome and like black liveries.
Sick.
I was like, regardless, I was like, I want it to be chrome.
Yeah.
It has to be chrome, and it's got has to be like.
I always said that, and then I got this livery, and I was like, I don't want to mess with chrome this year. I'm not doing it. I don't want to touch it. I got to put this bitch on. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, and it's funny because like I have a vinyl printer, like so I could do a printed vinyl, but like,
perfect, yeah.
but I don't want to do that. Like I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Like nothing against printed vinyls and stuff. Like it works, but I really just wanted that old school style.
Yeah.
I was like, it's gonna be a pain in the ass to install, but it's gonna look hot.
Oh yeah. I know you just had TogeCon.
Yeah, TogeCon. Yeah.
Did you do a shirt design for that?
Yeah, I did all of them.
Yeah. How many designs did you end up doing?
I did a Yankee collab for underground or pre-meet. I did the official event tee, an extra like lifestyle tee, two lifestyle tees. Damn. And we had 2 older designs that were lifestyle tees, along with Dan's like new brand he's working on.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, did they sell good? How did everything go?
The
at
event
TogeCon?
went phenomenally well. Okay. Like so, if you don't know, like TogeCon's a car enthusiast, a JDM themed car enthusiast event, like held in the Ozark Mountains in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and we start off with like an underground pre-meet where we take over like a parking deck and we do absurd amount of lighting in it, a DJ, like underglows heavily, like encouraged, and it's just a fucking crazy party. Like you just come hang out. Like we had the garage fits like maybe 300 cars.
Oh,
it
wow.
filled up like immediately. There was probably another 600 or 700 cars trying to get in. We had like 3,500 people at this pre-meet. Like it was
That's
insane. Yeah.
Oh my
Like,
god! You
and
said
then-
about 10,000 people showed up.
Yeah, we had about
total,
10,000
right?
people over the weekend. And then on Saturday, like the main portion of TogeCon is the driving. Like
Yeah.
we do curated routes throughout various sections of Northwest Arkansas. And yeah, we had five routes, 2 run groups each. We had about 250 cars total. And they were all fucking great. Like shout out to Noah, my guy who does all the organization for those routes. Like he figures them out, he builds the structure and stuff. Like it's insane.
Hell yeah. I'm sure it's a headache. I know you mentioned that there's like a lot of moving pieces and stuff that goes along with this event. Now, obviously, it's a little bit different than what the viewers and what we're doing here probably know. So, like, what do you mean by there's a lot of moving pieces?
So it's technically like a one-day event.
Okay.
But like the pre-meet has become part of the event. So it's like Friday is vendor load in, because we have the town center in the middle of Fayetteville. Vendor load in, and then it's underground, the official pre-meet. And it's like, it really like sets the tone. Like, you get to meet all these people, it's a fucking trip. And then Saturday morning, like 7 a.m., we load up all 250 cars, get them registered, go over everything. They go on a 3-hour cruise, there's lunch, etc. They come back.
It's 3 hours?
Yeah, going down and back, it's about 3 hours.
Wow.
So it's like a fun, like
I didn't
leisurely
realize that.
cruise, like with your homies and stuff. Like Scott brought Hot Ice, like the main drift car and stuff. So it's like I got to drive with them, and it's just fun. Like you're not supposed to, you're not racing or doing anything like that. Like you're not trying to go super fast. Like it's hanging out with your friends and enjoying the scenery.
Yeah, it's just like the old days when you cruised the meets together
Exactly.
on the back roads. Or literally, we would just hop in our cars and we're like, you want to go drive back roads?
Yeah.
Fucking right, let's do it.
Yeah, so imagine doing that with like a group of 30 people. And then like hanging out and like eating lunch with them and then like going back.
Yeah.
And then there's like a 2-hour break where we set up a car show on the city square. And like 100 car show, and then we have the main event where like all the vendors and like MC and stuff are at the town center. So it's like 5.5 hours of like event. But it's like with all the other pieces, like it's just like you have lots of stuff to do and there's no like real lull period.
Gosh.
We had a lot of killer partners this year, like BC and Kansei. Kansei's been with us since like day one. And so like we gave away like a whole set of wheels.
BC too.
Yeah, BC like and Juku. It was killer. Like all those guys were a huge benefit to the event, and I loved working with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just fun. It's just a good time. We've had a really supportive community, and it's like genuine enthusiasts.
That's awesome.
Which is fun.
It sounds fun. I really wanted to come this year. I just too much personal shit going on.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It happens, but there's always next year. We already started planning next year.
Good.
Yeah, we've got a solid team that's,
This
for
was like
TogeCon.
the third or fourth, right?
Yeah, it's our third one.
Third one? Okay. Damn, so it's still like fresh. That's crazy. 10,000 people for the third one.
Yeah, it like.
What was last year's?
Like 5.5, almost 7, something like that.
That's still a big jump for 1 year.
Yeah, I mean, our first year was like 1,200 people, and then it was like 6,000 or 7,000.
Keep in mind, in the middle of Arkansas.
Yeah. I don't know the stats from this year, from like where people came from, but I know last year we had people from like 15 different states.
Damn.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's wild. Like,
do you ever plan on like doing more than one in a year, or is that like just way too much?
Man, like,
or you probably need a business partner or something.
I have one. I have a business partner in it.
Oh, okay,
so it's not just me. Like, Caleb is my business partner, and he's the yin to my yang. Like, he's completely opposite of me. Like, I'm fucking crazy and creative and run around all over the place, and he is like meticulous and organized. So it's like it's a match made in heaven. And then we've got like 5 guys on the team as well that, like, my buddy Jason handles all media. We got Skylar on social media and other ancillary like help. Noah's on all the routes. Jerry helps with like day of stuff. Like, we've got a solid team that helps with all of it.
That's so cool.
So it's been helpful. Without them, like, the event wouldn't fucking exist.
Yeah.
And like, it runs so smoothly.
True.
That's like our main thing.
Especially after saying all that, you have the square and you have this other meetup or whatever, like stopping to eat, and just the fact that it's 3 hours, that's insane to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, highly impressive. I know I've asked this off camera before, but do you ever plan on incorporating any type of motorsport or drifting into those specific events?
Not to TogeCon specifically, like the annual fall event, because like there's already so much stuff going on, and me personally, just from my own experience from traveling and vending, like, yeah, it'd be awesome to go drifting, but also like that's a whole nother expense. That's also like, if Sunday would be the only time I'd get to do drifting, and like everyone's from out of state. It's just like they need to get back home.
Yeah, you're asking for an extra day.
Yeah, it's like a whole lot. And a lot of people do come in like early, like days early, so they get to experience the town and stuff a bit more. So it's like, man, trying to add any more stuff like that is difficult. So we do want to do drifting. And if we do, or I guess when we do, because we're definitely going to do it at some point, it'll be a standalone event.
Okay.
Like, it'll be presented by TogeCon. It'll have a different name, because like I don't want it to get confusing. But kind of like Drift Appalachia, it's by Drift Indy. So it's like I want to keep it. Where it's like it's by TogeCon, but it has its own name because it's its own style of event.
Yeah, it would be like a sister company type.
Yeah. So yeah, we definitely want to incorporate more stuff like that. And I know Caleb wants to do some more kind of like group routes and stuff, like kind of not rallies, but something kind of within that vein.
Okay.
Just getting insurance and stuff like that's a pain in the ass.
I couldn't imagine, dude. Especially in some of these states, I don't understand it. And our insurance in Tennessee is, unless these event hosts are just bullshit, they're a pain in the ass to deal with.
Oh yeah.
But I don't do it, so I couldn't tell you.
Insurance is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
We don't really want to take anything away from the fall event. Like, we spent a whole year planning it.
No. You've built that to what it is now. You just keep skyrocketing that. That's too good of an event. And there's really nothing along those lines anymore.
Yeah.
It's like the closest thing you can almost get to those Saturday night meets at just some random parking lot, and then afterwards you go and cruise. It's like almost the same exact concept.
Yeah, it's fun. Like a lot of the older crowd and stuff that used to be into JDM, like locally in Fayetteville, like came out of the woodworks. They're like, oh shit, like this is my type of thing.
For those drift events, whenever you do start them, what, like, I know you said you keep them fairly simple.
Yeah.
as far as running them group-wise, or like, do you feel like it'll be more like this, the Drift Indy stuff, or like how would you prefer an event to be ran?
Yeah, I definitely do. If I were to do one, it'd be different groups.
Yeah.
And I'd probably have like a team of like exhibition drivers.
Okay.
Because like drifting is really small in Arkansas, and I'd like to get more people in it. So that would be probably my main focal point, is making it accessible and have like an easier learning curve for people, and just showcase like, yeah, you don't need a $60,000 400 horsepower car.
Right.
Like,
Need a $6,000-$7,000 350.
just buy a Z. Yeah, buy a Z and go rip. And like, make it safe. Like, that's the big thing. Like, I want, whenever we're doing, it'll be safe and fun and easy. But like also have exhibition drivers to like get you hyped up.
Yeah.
And one of my main focal points is like, dude, just make the car look good. Like,
Please.
just keep them looking good. Like,
there's a reason this event has the status that it does.
yeah.
And the reason people talk about it so much.
Yeah, dude, like the first thing I thought when I pulled up in
Make
here,
your car look good.
I was like, holy shit, the amount of good looking cars here.
Yeah.
I was like, this is awesome.
I think I saw one car that was almost bone stock.
Yeah.
But it's still lowered and shit.
Yeah.
Still trying to look good with what he can. So
At least it's clean.
just making excuses, that's all I know. But with your car though, do you plan on adding any power to it? Anything?
Oh yeah. I want to do a 1J swap in it for sure.
Okay, cool. Why 1J?
Because
Versus
I can
2J?
still keep AC
Fair.
and power steering and all that stuff.
It's NA 2J, wouldn't.
It's cost me the same roughly to turbo that motor as it would to 1J swap it.
Really?
But also my motor has like 260,000 miles on it.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't want to add any more stress to it. And no, honestly, it's a pure vanity thing as well. Or like the VVTi GE valve covers and intake manifold are so fucking ugly. I'm like, nope, get that shit out of there.
Yep.
Get it out. I want to fucking put a 1J in it, make it look pretty. Because I want to paint my engine bay whenever I do that.
Yeah.
So-
That's one thing I wish I would have done, is painted mine.
Yeah.
I just slapped my swap together as fast as I could.
I
which
get
was-
that.
Ended up being 3 years.
Yeah, like,
God.
so yeah, it's like, I want to have it looking good. Like, that's why the car looks like it does now. Like, I might not be a good driver, but like, fuck, it looks good. So whenever I get the random photo where I do hit the corner right, it's like, hey,
There we go.
that's
Now
my
I'm
motivation.
feeling
Like,
it.
yeah, I got to get good. So all photos are gonna look like that.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. Okay, then I guess what is your end goal with Yankee? Like, what are with all of this stuff you got going on? What are you trying to get to?
I'm trying to get it to where like it is like a primary income source for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I want it to be, an actual legitimate apparel brand. I could hire some people to help, fulfillment and all sorts of other stuff. It'd be hard on the design side to have replacement, just because I've got such a specific art style. But I do want to branch out a little more, kind of stuff like that. Maybe toys or figurines or something. I've always wanted to do shit like that.
That's cool.
But, it's like, who knows what I'll come up with in the next 3 years. Like, have some random off-the-wall idea.
Well, I'm excited to see it. You're a pretty creative person, dude.
Appreciate
it's really
it,
cool. So, I guess we'll get into the last 3 questions I ask in every podcast. Obviously, you're going off of IS 300, but if you didn't have that, if you were going to choose any car to be the best daily, or not the best daily, the best seat time car possible, and you were doom scrolling on Injuku just trying to find parts, what car would it be, and what parts are you going to get on Injuku?
Well, it has to be a Z. I got to drive a 350 recently.
Really?
I drove Mike's Z from Dip Royal, and my second lap at a parking lot event laid down a solid heater.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, yo, this car is so fucking easy
So
to drive.
easy.
I was like, man, like way easier than my car.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd have to be a Z. I think ISs are phenomenal. I think they're a slept-on chassis. Because they're hard to find in a manual.
That is true.
Whereas
yeah.
like I see, like that's literally the only reason.
Without
like,
being beat to shit.
Yeah, it's the only reason I'd say like go with a Z, because like ISs are so fucking hard to find. Cause you can find a Z for like $5,000, and it's like all I would do is like coilovers and a bucket seat.
Yeah, that's really all I need. You take the bump stops out.
Yeah.
Get a decent couple extra degrees or whatever.
Yeah. Like hell, fuck. If you've got an extra $300, put a GK Tech kit or something, some kind of angle mod.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, bucket seat.
I wouldn't even say waste your money on the simple bolt-on kits.
Yeah.
You get like maybe 10 extra degrees, which isn't really noticeable.
Yeah.
You can't really.
Yeah, I
Well,
just
10
mainly
degrees
do
is a
that.
lot, but-
Like those two things. Like yeah, just coilovers that you can get. You can get some BCs from Injuku. I find a bucket seat and an exhaust so you can actually hear the car. That was one of the main things. Like I first time.
Maybe not with a Z.
I mean, dude, the
It
ISR
just sounds
exhaust.
so bad.
The ISR exhaust sounds great.
Yeah, I will give it that. The ISR exhaust is one of the best exhausts I've heard for a VQ.
Like
Sounds
Mike's
so
car.
bad.
Mike's car doesn't sound like a fucking like brass section. With
Yeah, because it's not too loud.
No, it's not too loud,
Yeah,
but
it's
like
very
it has like a deeper
moderated.
tone and it's a fuller tone. It's not so like high in the treble section where like it's kind of raspy. It just has like a real fat tone to it. And like, yeah, this is like a sports car.
Hell yeah.
So it's like, because that was one thing I noticed with the IS. Like, I did like a couple mountain runs and stuff, and I was like, I can't hear my fucking car at all. So I slapped a $150 exhaust on it, and I'm like, cool, I can hear the fucker.
I can hear it now. We're good.
Yeah, I think those are the most important things. Like, save all your money for fucking to go to events, or like buy a trailer. Like, if you've got a tow capable vehicle, if not, like I don't, like just fucking spend your money on tires.
That car is cool. I don't know if you can see it behind me.
Oh, that thing is so sick. I love that thing.
I don't know if it's a 280
It's
or...
a 280ZX.
Okay. I did 240 or 280.
Yeah, it's the most.
They look identical to me.
Oh no, they're way like a little more uglier than the original Z, but like yeah, the S130 chassis is totally like slept on. But like he made it look so good.
Yeah, it's got so much camber in the rear
Yeah,
though.
it's super like Shakotan like style.
Yeah, I love it, dude. He's been ripping too.
Yeah, he's
Sorry.
it's a super ripper.
That
But
was
yeah,
super off topic.
yeah, off in Juku, yeah, like coilovers, bucket seat, exhaust, and you're good to go. And oil.
Yeah.
If
oil.
you're driving a Z,
ain't
you
got
need
no
oil.
You're a little fucked up there, right? Hell yeah. No, that's good. Well, then what would you say is your absolute best piece of advice for just anyone getting into drifting in general?
Man, have fun and just get as much seat time as you can. You know, sims obviously are a great thing, but like get into the scene. Like everybody in drifting is so fucking awesome. Like my first runs out here were great. Like one of the staff members from Drift Indy walked out to me and goes, "Hey man, initiate here and don't lift." I was like, "Okay, cool." Did it twice. It comes back to me and goes, "All right, now initiate here instead and then do this." I was like, okay. And I just end up getting way better lines.
Yeah.
So it's like, just, you know, be consistent or do your hardest to be consistent, but like just have fun with it. Like that's the biggest thing, just have fun. Like don't get mad if you spin out. That shit fucking happens.
It's going to. Just learn how to spin out correctly. Get out of the way.
Yeah. Learn all the segments.
Yeah. I'm not gonna go into that story. There was some crazy shit that happened near our pits, but anyways, yeah. All right. Well, the last one's a little deeper. Okay. I know you've heard it before, probably, but if you had the opportunity to speak to the entire world, what would your one message be?
Just be nicer to one another. Man, we learned this shit in elementary. Treat others like you want to be treated.
Yeah.
Don't be a fucking asshole.
Cheers to that.
There's a time and place to be an asshole, but don't always be an asshole.
It ain't in a drift events.
Yeah,
That's
be
for
fucking
sure.
positive at a drift event.
Yeah, I know we're talking to everybody in the world, but just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah, I mean that's how I like to try and live my life to the fullest. You know, I can be a dick. I have a resting bitch face, but
Feel that?
like you know, I just try and treat people how I'd want to be treated.
Good. Love that. All right. Well, you got any last final closing words, or want to shout anyone out? Shout your own stuff out.
Yeah,
or anything?
shout out fucking Grip Royal. They're the fucking
Hell
awesome
yeah.
dudes. Shout out to Dawson for making me do this. I'm stoked on it. I've been a big fan.
Hell yeah.
And
We'll do another one. Too.
Yeah. Shout out to Drift Indy, man. This has been such a awesome experience just being here.
Yeah.
Like been just welcomed with open arms, and you know.
I had an expectation myself showing up, and it definitely exceeded.
Yeah.
They've got it figured out. And Edgar's been doing it for 20 plus years. I would assume he has.
They know what they're doing. Yeah, shout out to the Dayton boys, BWAG, JP, all of them. Like, I love you guys. And if you guys like the t-shirts, it's on the website. If it's not, message me on Instagram because I'm shit at keeping up my website up to date. But I am working on like releasing more stuff more consistently.
Awesome.
2024 was a hectic year.
Oh yeah. Well, cool. You got it worked out for next year, and
Yeah.
you'll be pumping them out.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
keep an eye out for all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's all I got, really. So make sure, of course, look below the video. If that subscribe button is not pressed right now, you're pretty crazy. Go ahead and click that. And, of course, links to everything are always in the description. If you're looking for any parts, Injuku's always got you. But, yeah, that's all we got. So I'll see you each and every Sunday for a brand new episode. Thanks.
Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. This guy does a killer fucking job.
Thank you. Appreciate
Stay
that.
way up to the ceiling. Trust no bitch, can't catch no feelings. I've been taking long flights from the Bay to Ibiza. Hit home runs, I'm a ball like Jeter. I just want fuck, then I leave. I'm a young pop star, call the boy Justin Bieber. Got a little money if you want, I can teach you. Whole life a movie, you can watch it in theater. Staying way up to the ceiling. Trust no bitch, can't catch no feelings. I've been taking long flights from the Bay to Ibiza. Hit home runs, I'm a ball like Jeter. I just want fuck, then I leave. I'm a young pop star, call the boy Justin Bieber. Got a little money if you want, I can teach you. Whole life a movie, you can watch it in theater. We in the bag of the band, shit like a sauna, she working a sweat. Told her come over, bring her and her friend. Put her